Am I the a-hole for saying I would stay at my mom's if I had to share a room with babies? I'm 16F. My parents split up before I was born, custody as I live with my dad most of the time and my mom every other weekend, plus random staying with her if I want. Recently, my dad got engaged to Hannah, and she and her kids are moving in. Hannah's kids' ages are 9, 7, 2, 2, 2. She is widowed, so they live with her full time. This made room arrangements a bit awkward, since there's only 3 kids' bedrooms to go around. Dad and Hannah talked it over last night, without consulting anybody, and Hannah came over this morning to announce with my dad what they decided. Apparently, they want 9 and 7 to each have their own rooms, and me to share with the triplets because my room is significantly bigger than the others and I don't stay there full time. I said their plan was stupid. They wanted me to share with 3 toddlers. They said they didn't want me to move but it was the biggest room so other people should share. I said I didn't care if I switched rooms, because the more logical move would have been the triplets in the big room, 7 and 9 share, and I get my own. I said I'd take the smallest one, until I move out. They said it would be more work to move my things to another room, and their idea was more practical. Then asked why I was so pressed since I don't even live here full time. I said not staying in the room 4 days a month was a sorry excuse to land me with a bunch of toddlers, and if they seriously planned on doing it to me I'd make the custody arrangement change and I'd stay with mom for the most part. I know she doesn't mind because both of them remind me I could stay with her whenever I wanted. This made Hannah cry because she just wants her family to blend together nicely and apparently I was ruining her plans. This made Dad mad at me and him not allowed to talk to Hannah until she forgives me. I didn't know this meant so much to them but I'm still saying I'll stay with mom longer if I have to share with toddlers, but my dad made me feel a bit guilty so am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for bullying the police into pressing charges against a bunch of kids? First and most importantly, I'm not here for legal advice. I'm here to see if I'm the Second, this is my property that I have a mortgage on. It's not community or city property. This past winter, I had a pool installed at my house. After the pool installation, I had my old fence removed and installed new fences that met with the city code for a residential pool. My new fence is higher than my old one and the gates have approved locks. About a month ago I had to travel for work and was gone for about 2 weeks. I came back to find my backyard trashed and it seems someone had a pool party while I was gone. The locks on my gates were broken but luckily no one broke into my house. I checked my security cameras and saw at least 20 teens having an all-day party that lasted late into the night. I did not give permission for anyone to be at my house so I was mad. My cameras are HD so their faces were clearly visible and I recognized some from the neighborhood. I went to the police and submitted a copy of the recordings and tried to file a report. The cops did their best to try to talk me out of it but I pressed them on it until they relented and took a report. Weeks passed by and I heard nothing so I called them to find out nothing has been done. I got angry and threatened to sue unless they got off their behinds and enforced the laws. I should point out I live in a town of about 2,000 people and nothing ever happens here. The cops are not understaffed or too busy on other cases. I also know I probably can't sue the cops into doing their jobs but I lose nothing by threatening a lawsuit and I was mad at the time. Finally they got some of the teens seen on my security video but again they tried to talk me out of pressing charges. I was adamant and insist they file charges. When my girlfriend found out about the situation, she said I should have let it go and we got into an argument about it. My own mother thinks I'm being a bully by forcing the cops to file charges against some teens who just wanted to throw a party. Virtually everyone I know is making me out to be some grumpy guy with a score to settle and I kid you not, everyone in my life is trying to talk me out of it. They're worried about me destroying these teens' future over a pool party. I don't know when it became okay to break into someone's property. Right now it feels like it's me against the entire world. Am I the a-hole for rescinding my sister's invite to my wedding and laughing at her husband? Never thought I'd be posting this here but me and my fiancé are avid lurkers so I thought this would be a good spot to get a judgment. I, 27M, have 2 sisters, an older Jessica, 30F, and a younger, 26F. Me parents are divorced and my dad is remarried. When I was 16 my parents split due to my mom having an affair with a friend of mine's dad. I was at the age where I could decide who to live with. I choose my dad. My sisters choose to shuffle back and forth. Me and my sisters have never been close afterwards. I have not spoken to my mom since I graduated back in 2014 and my sisters have been bitching about it since. My sisters don't like my stepmom while I love her, so they don't come to my dad's much which we are both fine with. I don't speak to them unless necessary around the holidays. I did not attend my older sister's wedding due to the tension so I've never met her husband. I'm currently engaged and our wedding is in December. I plan to invite both my sisters for the sake of my fiancé who wanted them there. My younger sister isn't coming because I did not invite my mom and instead have my stepmom involved and I'm happy with that. My older sister pretends to be this big family person on social media so I think for appearances she was going to come. After I sent the invite she called and said it wasn't right to phase our mom out considering her side of the family will be there. I said I didn't ask her advice on the guest list. She said in solidarity with our other sister and our mother she isn't coming. I said great. That was a month ago. Last week I got a call from a random number who ended up being my bill saying he spoke with my sister and she wanted to come. I said that isn't what she said originally. He said she was trying to force something and that was wrong and she wanted to attend. I said it was too late as the offer had been rescinded. He said that family was important and it would be a good step. I asked who the hell he even was. as I've never even met him. He said my sister is too proud to call so he did it for her. I said it was too bad her ego was that big that she'd allow her husband do her dirty work so there was no invite. I pretty much told the guy that family wasn't that important given I don't even know who he is and that his wife tried to threaten me, so I was done with it. He said a few other things about family and I just laughed at him telling him I don't even know him. They obviously want a free dinner and he should get his balls back from my sister. My fiancée heard most of the convo and said I was being an odd to him, even if my sister was toxic. I told her that the asshole thing is to call on your wife's behalf about an issue that doesn't concern you. And to threaten your sibling with shit to get them to do what you want. So I was just returning it. Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for leaving my niece's wedding reception early and taking my gift back? I'm 45 male and I have a niece who is 22 and just got married last weekend. The family is blowing up with drama right now because of what I and my wife did. I must preface this by saying my family can be pushovers. They really all hate conflict and will definitely let themselves be run over by someone else in order to not cause a fight. I am not this way. The wedding was on Saturday. Catholic ceremony in a church that was at 3:30 p.m. The reception area was at a brewery about 15 minutes from the church. The reception was set to start at 5. Maybe this was stupid on the venue people, but they wouldn't open the bar or bring around the appetizers until the bride and groom arrived. Service ended around 4:30 and everyone was told to go to the reception. The wedding party had a limo to take them and a separate limo took the parents, grandparents, siblings. The couple is young and decided against family in the wedding party lol. It was 4 sorority sisters and fraternity brothers on each side. My wife and I drove. We got to the venue around 4:50 with the first family limo arriving around that time. By 5 I'd say all 150 guests were there, but no bride and groom. The wedding coordinator was getting pissed as it's now 5:45 and no wedding party. We are all just standing around with no food or drinks. Someone was able to get a hold of the mo around this point and apparently the bride and groom told the limo driver to stop at a liquor store and then drive around on the highway for an hour so the wedding party could get trashed. At around 6 the mo said they should be arriving in the next 20 minutes. My wife and I looked at each other and said we are out. We thought it was horribly disrespectful for them to do that to all their guests. I told my brother, Fob, that we were leaving and taking the gift with us. He tried to plead by saying they're just kids, let them have fun, but I was having none of it. A few days after, I got an apology text from niece followed by an ask for the gift again. I said that I felt very disrespected and I didn't want to give a gift anymore. She snapped and called me an a-hole. Am I the a-hole for saying my body is not just a result of having had no children? I, F26, went to the pool with some female colleagues from work today. We know each other pretty well, but only ever see each other in scrubs at the hospital. Most of my colleagues are a few years older than I am and some have kids. We were all wearing bikinis and having a nice time so far. Then out of the blue one colleague complimented me on my body. It was a genuine nice compliment and I blushed and said thank you. I am pretty fit. I have a dog, I walk daily and I am a dancer and used to dance 7 days a week. Ever since I've been working I dance less though. While my body doesn't look as nice as it used to back then, I still am lean and I suppose pretty muscular, especially the legs. After the compliment, another colleague with kids said that of course I have a nice body, I don't have kids. Some others then chimed in and said how easy it all was before kids and how easy I have it and my body is nothing special. I didn't say anything because I am pretty uncomfortable with body talk in general. But at some point it became a bit much and I said that I don't think my body is just from not having had kids but that I also work out a lot. I also said not having had kids doesn't equal a good body and having had kids doesn't equal a bad body. The colleagues then exploded on me and said how I belittle parenthood and downplay pregnancy and I should just wait until I have kids and those legs are gonna disappear quickly. I said nothing to that and the rest of the outing passed rather awkwardly. AITA for saying what I said.